Hello everyone! Welcome back to our Lonely Hardcore Survival, a place where we can all be lonely together. My name is Lonely, let's get started. Hello there. What do you sell, my friend? Nothing interesting, unfortunately. Give me 1 second. Much better. Last episode, we rescued some little wolves from some terrible pillagers, and we also built them this beautiful little cave where they're now in charge of guarding our precious ores. Hello Lulu. And in this episode, if we make our way up here towards the spider farm, you can see that despite having a huge building on this side, there's absolutely no path to connect it to the rest of the builds. So let's fix this by building the most incredible path in this Minecraft hardcore world. As you can see, we have the spider farm right here, and on the left side, the wolf farm that we built some episodes ago. And I think it would be pretty cool to connect both of them with a path going between the mountains and connecting to this path right here, and of course going off to wherever we want to build next. So the first thing that we should do with our shovel and some water as well to get rid of all of this grass is start to bring the path all the way towards the mountain. And I'm also gonna grab some dirt so that we can fill in some of these gaps to make the whole path look much more natural. Alright, and just like that, one side is done, now just missing the second side. And I'm pretty sure that this hole has to go completely. So let's add some light to make sure that no mobs can spawn, and now we can slowly cover everything up. And we just ran out of dirt, so let's go find a little more. Alright, there we go. The base layer is done, now I just want to make it look a little more natural. And now when everything turns into grass, I think it's going to blend inside the landscape very nicely. So starting from the sheep farm, we can start creating some path blocks that lead all the way towards the cliff. And I'm pretty sure that right here in the middle I would love to have a nice little bridge. And maybe also a second path that goes inside the mountain all the way towards the wood storage system as well. But first we have to clear some grass so we can add more path blocks. And finally make this nice little curving path. The bridge is probably going to start over here and connect to the path right there, so I think that the underground path should start over in this direction. And we have a couple friends. Let's say hi, shall we? Alright, it's time to start digging. I wanna start with a base tunnel that's 3x3, and I want it to reach all the way over there. And I would also love to cover this whole cave right here. Perfect, there we go. And now I have to continue digging. And just like that we connected both sides of the tunnel together, so now we just have to make it 3x3. And look, we just found some handy coal. Let's add a little bit of light, and now we can work on making it look much more natural. Awesome, and I think something like this should work just fine, and we can worry about decorating everything later. For now, let's break some more grass so we can connect this main path to the cave path on the side. Awesome, and just like that, we were able to connect all of our builds together. And now that I think about it, another thing that I would really like to do is to make this giant hole a lot safer. So let's grab some glass so that we can patch up this hole while still being able to see what's inside of it. There we go, much better. And right here on this edge, I would like to break some grass to make a huge waterfall. Just like this. And now we won't have to worry about falling inside this hole ever again. And I think it also looks pretty cool. And now that we have this beautiful path going, it's time to make some stone brick stairs with some chiseled stone bricks and of course some regular stone bricks, so that we can start adding some much needed decoration. I guess because I use spruce for every other stair in the path, it would probably be a better idea to use the stone brick stairs for something else, and instead keep using our spruce stairs and more spruce to add an easy way to go up and down these paths. Alright, definitely much better. Awesome, the stairs have been added on one side of the path, so just missing this side, just like that. Now we can make a crafting table, place it down here, make some slabs, so that we can start working on this little bridge. This seems to be a good starting shape, so now we just need to add some support. Hello there. Just need to get a little more spruce, and now we can keep building this bridge. There we go, with the supporting pillars it definitely looks much more like a bridge. Now I would just like to add some more structure, using stairs and some slabs. And of course some trapdoors as well. Perfect, there we go. Now let's add a couple barrels. With our crafting table right here, let's grab some wheat to make some hay bales that we can also sprinkle around for decoration. And now with the path planned out and this cute little bridge finally done, we can start adding some more life to this part of our world by adding some nice little builds here and there. Let's get these stone bricks to start planning out the builds we want to have around here. Starting with a nice little fountain right here, with a nice little pond beside it, a nice little field all around this section, where we can cut through it to walk on top of this massive cave, with some little ruins, a little workstation, with a nice little indent in the mountain, a big tree right here, another field right here, a little path right here, towards this little lake, where we're going to be able to add a ladder later to make it much easier to go up and down, just in case we want a nice little swim. And now next to the wool farm, we can get rid of some more grass, because right here we can have a nice little house with a little shed, and you probably guessed it, but right here I want another little field. And seeing that we connected this giant hole to this path on the left, let's do the same thing with this path on the right. And right here in the middle of everything, I would like to add some more little ruins to fill up this whole space. And I really think that this is gonna look incredible once it's done. So I'm going to need a couple crafting tables and some stone cutters to sprinkle all around to make it much easier for building. And now without any further ado, let's start working on each detail one by one. For our first field, let's grab some sunflowers with some bone meal so that we can start planting a bunch of them all around and make some more if we need to. And just like this, one half is done, so now just missing the second half. And right here in the middle, I would like to add some contrast by adding some flowers of different colors. And there we go, just like that. Now we can grab some cobblestone, some lanterns and fences with some trapdoors and some spruce so that we can work on this outline. There goes the cobblestone. Now we can add some stairs. Now some walls. Some chiseled stone bricks for an extra decoration. A little bit of fences here and there. With some lanterns, of course, so that everything is lit up nicely. To add some height variation, we can add some slabs here and there. And to really emphasize this pathway, by adding some nice little arches. And I think that just like this, the first field is completely done. And now we can move our attention towards the left, where we can start building this cute fountain. With a chiseled stone brick in the middle, some stone bricks on top of it, some diorite to make up the floor, and finally some water on top. With a couple fences, and of course a little bit of light here and there. To finish this whole fountain, let's add some stairs on the sides, and some walls in the corners. And maybe some slabs as well, to add some height variation. Now we can add some path blocks all around, and with the fountain done, we can probably start working on this little pond. So I want to grab some kelp and some bone meal, alongside some water, that we can then place down strategically to start filling the whole pond up. And with the water filled up, we just need to add some kelp all around to turn every single water block into a water source block. And now with this done, we can start bone mealing the ground to add to that beautiful pond vibe. And of course we cannot have a pond without some much needed lily pads, but I really cannot take these ones. So instead let's head over to the swamp real quick so that we can grab some from there. And I think 8 should be more than enough. While I'm at it, I also wanna grab some sugarcane and some bamboo that we can sprinkle all around to make this pond look much more alive. And there we go. Now with some barrels here and there, some stairs, and some trapdoors, we can add some much needed light. And I want to make sure that all around, absolutely no mobs can spawn, just to make this area nice and safe. And with this nice little section completely done, we can move on to the ruins right here, starting by adding some cobblestone like always, with some chiseled stone bricks for some decoration, some stairs, and cobblestone stairs of course, with some andesite, some slabs here and there, with some moss, some coarse dirt, some path blocks here and there, some trapdoors, some walls, with fences, and some light to finish everything off. And just like this, I would say these ruins are quite done. Wow, my friends, and just with this little section of the path done, the world looks so much more alive. But now we can keep making our way down towards this nice little build right here, which is gonna be some kind of a workstation. So we can start by bringing up the walls, add some support beams, a nice roof, with a nice little floor, and of course some much needed light. Now some trapdoors to add a little more detail, with some fences, a little bit of storage, and some more useful blocks. Now let's connect this building to the main path, and now we can also call this little build done. And right next to it we have this little cave, where I think it would be nice to add some color with some spruce, some light with some lanterns, and maybe a little bit of moss all around to make everything look much older. And last but not least, we can grab some of these ores, maybe even make a diamond block so that we can add a little idol to this cave. There we go. Now just gotta connect it to the main path, and this whole section is completely done. If anything, I would love to add a little more guidance, so with the help of some of these walls, placed strategically, and these fences, we can make this path look even more populated. And to make this whole area look even less flat, it's time to fly over to our tree farm, grab some saplings, and start sprinkling them all around. And now as they start growing, they're going to add much more color and life to everything we just built. And we can of course sprinkle some bone meal here and there, just to add some grass and some flowers, especially around the path, because we all know that it looks much better this way. Alright, this looks truly incredible, and I really cannot wait to see all of the trees grow up. With this part of the path completely done, let's see what we can do for this second field right here. Starting of course by making some barrels that are gonna come in very handy for storing stuff. I would love to have a nice and big carrot field, because for now the biggest fields in this world are just wheat. So let's fly over the nether tree farm once more to gather a bunch more bone meal, grab our handy hoe Duke, fill this water bucket with water, so we can make an infinite water source with the help of these trapdoors. And before filling it in, let's start working on this perimeter, starting of course with some cobblestone, some regular andesite, some chiseled stone bricks to add some extra decoration, some polished andesite, some stairs, walls, slabs, some fences, with some lanterns, just to make sure everything is nice and bright, and to add some color on the outline, some spruce slabs as well. Now with the outline done, we can make this infinite water source, truly infinite, so we can start placing some water down to make sure that our crops will grow correctly. Now with some trapdoors we can cover everything up, to make sure we don't fall inside of these holes when planting or harvesting the carrots. And I think it also looks pretty nice. So now with Duke, we can start tilling the soil and see if we missed any spot with the water. We probably missed a spot right here. There we go. And I think that now we're ready to start planting all of our carrots. Now I only have 17, so let's plant everything that we have, bone meal it, harvest it, and plant it again. Alright, I think this should be great to start with. And on this side right here I want to add some path blocks, which are gonna lead to some stairs, which in turn are going to lead to a nice little outlook on the river. And now that all of our trees are starting to grow, I must say that this place is looking much more magical by the second. So now with this field completely done, let's make our way up here, over this giant hole, with a creepy skeleton lurking underneath, and go towards the second ruins. As always, I'm gonna start with some cobblestone, sprinkled all around, with some andesite, some moss on the floor, that we can then bone meal, to make this whole place much more lush, some slabs here and there, some walls, some cursed dirt on the ground, and why not a little bit of gravel as well, and to finish everything off, some fences with some lanterns. And just like that, the second ruins are completely done. And my friends, I didn't even see the time passing, but it's already time to stream. We're probably gonna continue this whole path, build this nice little build right here, and probably also move to the path beyond the bridge. I stream every week on Wednesday evenings, so if you would like to come say hi when we're live, don't forget to subscribe. Well, I'll see you all very, very soon. Let's start streaming, shall we? My friends, what an amazing stream this was. Before I show you what we did, let's go ahead and roll a quick time lapse to see the whole building process. Oh yes, I hope that was fun. Well, before taking a look at this little building right here, let me go ahead and plant some more carrots, because there's some spots missing right here in the back. Alright, and just like that, everything should be planted. So we can put the carrots that we do not need right here inside these barrels. And with this done, we can move on to this building right here. I didn't really know what I wanted it to be before I started building it, but because I decided to build it on stream, my friend the Targ suggested we should build a nice little bathhouse for travelers. So as we make our way inside, we have the reception, and here a door towards the beautiful hot springs, with some handy showers, some hot tubs, and of course a nice little waterfall. And now as we make our way out and towards the bridge that we built earlier, towards our right we can see the little cave has been vastly improved. And now we can go inside of it to slowly make our way to the other side. So now with all of this section completed, all that's missing is this section right here. And I think we should really start with this big tree. So let's just make some barrels that we can then sprinkle around for storage, where we can put all the items that we don't need for now. Then we can make this base look a little more interesting by adding some more randomness to it, just like so, some more depth, and some more height as well. And now with some coarse dirt, we can replace the floor inside of it and a little bit outside of it to make the base look much more interesting. Now we just need to grab some dark oak right here, turn some of it into dark oak wood, I think this should do, and now we're just missing a bunch of dark oak leaves. So let's grab some iron, craft some shears, make our way towards the dark oak forest, there it is, and start gathering some of these leaves. And now that our shears broke, we'll have to get our hoe, which now that I think about it, I should have probably done in the first place. Awesome, this should be more than enough, so we can make our way back home, put everything inside this barrel, restock on food, and rockets of course, and some XP as well, perfect. And with some scaffolding, and some shroom lights, we can finally start working on this tree. Awesome, I think this is a great start, so now we can add some roots all around. Oh yes, I think this is gonna be perfect. Now we can grab all of the leaves we just got, with the scaffolding and the shroom lights, to bring this quite dead looking tree back to life. Alright, I think this is gonna be a great radius for the leaves, so now let's work on filling in the top. Just like so. And now we can start adding some detail to the bottom section. Awesome, there we go. Let me just get rid of all of these extra blocks, and the scaffolding of course. And now with the shroom lights, we can break a couple leaves and add some light. And now with some lanterns and some bone meal here and there, we can say this tree has been successfully completed. Let me know if you have a name for it in the comments. And now we can shift our attention to this little field right here by starting to add a little path that leads to it. Awesome. Now we can dig some hole for some water. Let's also make the outline look a little more organic. Now with our handy bucket, we can grab some water to make an infinite water source right here, and we can start filling in these holes. Now we can grab our diamond hoe, fill all of this soil, and of course add some trapdoors on top of the water so that we don't fall in every time. And I really think that for this field, I'm gonna be using a bunch of beetroot. So let's grab some more bone meal that we can then use to speed up the growth process so we can get a ton of beetroot seeds to plant all around. Awesome, just like this. And of course you can put the remaining beetroot seeds inside these barrels, alongside with the beetroots. And with this field done, I would love to turn this into a small well. Alright, just like that. And now I think the only thing missing, aside of course from planting a couple trees, is to grab a little bit more spruce so that we can build a nice little lookout on this hidden lake, starting right here. Awesome, there we go. And just in case we do fall down, I want a very small and quick way up. Awesome, something like this should do. And now I just have to make sure that everything around here is spawn proof. Awesome, everything looks good. And with these sea pickles, we can also make this lake look a little better. And we can also bone meal the ground. Oh yes, and I also found some glow lichen. So let's pick them up with some shears. And now we can multiply them to get quite a lot, so that we can sprinkle them all around. Especially here inside this cave. Alright. And now the only thing left to do is to travel this path and make a couple adjustments to make sure everything feels and looks as nice as it can. And now with all of these little adjustments done, I am more than happy to call all of these builds finished. Wow my friends, we started with absolutely nothing over here, and we're able to bring this whole place to life with a ton of incredible builds that lead perfectly to the storage system. I'm going to add some nice shots at the end of the video, so if you'd like to see how this whole thing looks with shaders, stick around until the end. But for now it's time to move on to the naming. Starting with my friend Abinash, who suggested we name the wolf with the orange color Spooky. So there you go, right next to Lulu. And I think it's a great name for a wolf with an orange color. Next up we have my friend Dogged, who asked me to name a wolf Critter, and because I have an idea for this fourth wolf right here, let's go ahead and breed Spooky and Lulu, there we go, and name this little critter Critter. And my friend Ducky also suggested an incredible name for a wolf, so with the second baby, Let's go ahead and name him Wolfo. And my friend Axolotlis suggested we name one of the wolves Trifecta, which, seeing as we started with 3 wolves, is a very good idea. So let's name this remaining wolf Trifecta. And my friend Haas asked me to name the wolf with the lime color Lonely, so there you go. And to finish up with these beautiful wolves, my friend Noob Gaming suggested that our new wolf Trifecta had his color dyed brown, and I think it's a beautiful mix of colors. Well, moving on from the wolf cave, my friend King Waffle wanted me to name a hoglin after him, so let's go inside this crimson forest, find a hoglin to name, there we go, and we can go ahead and name it King Waffle. And I think it's kind of angry, so we should probably leave. And my friend Meter suggested that we name our netherite leggings Chatty, so there you go, my friend. I'm pretty sure this means underwear, which is quite a fitting name for these leggings. And last but definitely not least, my friend Samuel wanted me to trap a zombie inside a cage. There we go. Give him a nice diamond helmet, which hopefully he's gonna pick up. Nice. And name it after him. Oh yes, there we go. And now we can finally sleep tonight. And with this final name assigned, I'm afraid it's the end of the episode. We've truly built so much, and I'm extremely happy with the way that everything looks. I wanna thank you all for watching this little hardcore episode, and I hope that by playing Minecraft together, we were all able to be a little less lonely, or at least be lonely together. Of course, I wish you all an incredible day, and I cannot wait to see you in the next episode of our Lonely Hardcore Survival. My name is Lonely, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye bye.